Yeah.
Grits Capone. And I just kept saying it and saying it. We all know the saying that you reap what you sow, but what kind of farmer kills the crop before it grows? Planting seeds in the earth, unprepared for a harvest, it felt heartless, but we thought that this decision was the smartest. If seeing is believing, and since we never saw you, we never could believe in all the things that you would do. In my mind, I draw chalk lines around your mother's belly because she didn't want a baby by a man who wasn't wealthy. And to be quite honest, I didn't know your mother that well. We chilled on occasion, sipping drinks and blazing L's, then around the reminiscing had turned into us kissing, pillowcase and sheet gripping in all these different positions. The selfish sacrifices of an early 20s crisis. We both had the sex drive, but neither of us had the license. But all of that is history, a dark part of my memory. It hurts to say that in God's plan, you weren't meant to be. But you're always on my mind, my invisible teardrop. And yet my guilt won't subside until my heartbeat stops.
What's up with the poetry scene in Pittsburgh?
So the poetry scene, it's something that I came up in, I would say in the last, it's 2019 now. I've probably been performing since like 2009.
Okay, decade, solid decade.
Yeah, solid decade. Usually what would happen is I would like come back from school, from college, and on my like winter break or summer break or whatever, wherever the open mics were, that's where I was. And at the time, it was the prominent open mic was at the Shadow Lounge.
Okay.
So I would go
Which
to.
is still there or not there?
It's not there anymore. Well, the building is still there,
but the magic in it.
Yeah, the magic in it is not there. It's got gentrified.
Yeah. That's on the north side?
Yeah, East Liberty.
Oh, in East Liberty,
no,
okay.
East Liberty.
Yeah.
So I came up in the Shadow Lounge, going to open mics, and actually it was a friend of mine who I used to go with. His name was Chris, but he went by Sincere. And at the time, I didn't have a name. I only went by my first name, Corey. And I would go on stage, and they would call, because you write your name down and they call you. So they'd be like, Corey, come to the stage. And I'd be having all this real shit that I'm about to offer, but it's like the name Corey doesn't really go with the real shit that I'm about to deliver.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about it, and I was like, man, if I really want to take this poetry stuff seriously, I need to have a name. So I was on a bus one day, and I was just thinking of names, and I was like, I'm a big fan of Wu-Tang. So I've always believed in like, I don't know why black guys give themselves Italian last names, but we're in America. This is what we have, So we give ourselves Italian last names and then something the first name. So I was on the bus and I was like, Grits Capone.
Yeah.
Grits Capone. And I just kept saying it, and I was like, this is my name. But then I thought about an acronym for grits, and it's actually getting rich in today's society. So that's kind of like how I decided to come up with the name Grits Capone.
When you say rich, you're talking about money rich or like spiritually rich,
I think
culturally rich? Like, what are you thinking about?
I think that since there's so many different forms of being rich that,
you don't have to specify.
Yeah, it's just like, rich in everything.
For sure.
I want to be financially rich, spiritually rich, physically rich. I just want to be rich. So
yeah, for sure.
That's
where it's at.
Yeah.
For sure. So Grits Capone. And then, but on Instagram you go by, it's like
Deeper Than Grits.
Deeper Than Grits.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So Deeper Than Grits is kind of like the idea of my brand. So it's deeper than getting rich in today's society. So this is kind of like delving into really like the mind and the thoughts and the ideas and I guess it would be like the philosophy of Grits Capone. But Grits Capone is the artistic expression of Corey Carrington. It's my artistic vessel to produce ideas and content and say things that I might not be comfortable saying as Corey Carrington.
Yeah.
But as Grits Capone, I can say this.
For sure.
Not necessarily blame it on grits, but kind of like, when I'm doing this or when I'm stepping into this, power or whatever, it's like, Superman and Clark Kent.
Right.
When Superman puts the cape on,
yeah.
Superman. When he's in the office, he's Clark Kent.
For sure. Cool. All right. I love that.